Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Fong Pham. I'm the Director of Educations at the Harvard Humanitarian Initiative and an associate professor at the Harvard Medical School. I have the privilege and the honor to be introducing Mr. Claude Bruderlein, who will provide a brief overview of a new and exciting online immersive course called Mastering Complex and High-Stakes Negotiation, Practical Tools with Harvard New Executive Course on Frontline Negotiation. This course will be delivered in the upcoming March 2025. The course aims to equip professionals with the tools and strategies needed to navigate the most challenging negotiation environment, including humanitarian emergency, migrations, and climate crisis. Um, this course is part of a series on leaderships and negotiation that HHI will be offering for the general audience outside of Harvard students and sponsor programs. And, leading us today, I can't think of anyone better to provide this course than Claude. By way of background, Claude Bruderlein is an adjunct lecturer at the Global Health at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health and a senior researcher at the Harvard Humanitarian Initiative with a secondary appointment at the Kennedy Schools of Government. He specialized in negotiation in complex environments and served as a strategic advisor to the president of the International Committee of the Red Cross. He founded the Center for Competence on Humanitarian Negotiating, collaborating with organizations like the ICRC and Médecins Sans Frontières. Formerly, he advised the UN Secretary General on humanitarian affairs and worked on negotiation of access in regions like Afghanistan and North Korea, and assessed the humanitarian impacts of sanctions in Africa. His extensive fieldwork include roles in Iran, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen. So welcome, Claude. I look forward to the sessions, and I'll hand it over to you right now to talk more about the course.
Thank you very much, Fong. Thank you to the colleagues of the Harvard Humanitarian Initiative to organize this presentation. And thank you for the participants to joining us. It's a great pleasure to be here. Frank said few words about my background, and I think it's pretty sufficient. What I want to do here is to introduce the course, but I'd like to add that I've been really doing research on negotiation for more than 10 years, gathering data through interviews on best practices on the front line. And this is what brought me to work with HHI in developing one of the most advanced course on frontline negotiation available. So what I'd like to do here is to share my screen, and we'll go through a presentation. Oh, I will need the sharing, very good. So I hope you see my screen. So what I'd like to do here really is to introduce this course, this executive course on mastering complex and high-stake negotiation, which is organized by HHI in collaboration with Frontline Associate, which is a community of practice organizing events and activities among members such as the AI Negotiation Challenge. The agenda for this presentation is pretty straightforward. We are focusing on a new course that answers to demands and needs of those negotiating on the front line. We look into the purpose of this program, the key feature, the structure, how it's organized, and who this program is designed for, and what you'll acquire to it before looking into next step. Okay. Now, what are the challenges that we're dealing with? We've seen that, and this is both through my personal experience of peers that we have in Frontline Associate, as well as the research. Frontlines are getting more and more complex and more challenging. And that's what this course is designed for, is to give an upgrade and a support for people who have experience or wish to work on the front line of divisive issues, by giving them the tools and methods to really navigate with confidence these complex environments, because they are indeed increasingly complex. We have more and more stakeholders involved. We have inflow of information and data about the situation. You have interaction between political, social, economic actors, and everything plays in real time. A lot of immediacy. When I started to work in this domain, we didn't have the internet. We had fax machine, right? So it took few hours to few days before news would circulate. Now everything happens at the same time, and it put pressure on practitioners when they negotiate on the front line. There's a growing adversity, and we've seen that with rise in conflict, but also rise in clashes of ideologies. And frontline negotiators are stuck in the middle, trying to build bridges and build an environment, safe space for dialogue and finding a compromise. We have also organizations in these circumstances who are risk avoiders. They say they are reputational risk, they are security risk, they're funding risk, and it put, again, additional pressure on negotiators and mediators and facilitators on the front line. And this is how it came about to produce this course, because overall, over the last 20 years, there's a real disconnect between theory and practice. We've seen theory, interest-based theory, getting to yes. A lot of theory has been developed for commercial, transactional, or even diplomatic negotiation. But nowadays, this theory has a hard time to apply in places like the Middle East, West Africa, in situations where you have a deterioration of the social connection between people. And it's in these environments that really we want to equip participants with very practical hands-on tools to plan their negotiation, to develop strategies, to engage and build trust, foster legitimacy, and manage risk in these circumstances, okay? So essentially, the purpose of the program here is threefold. It's really about equipping professionals with the practical tool they need for high-stake negotiation. And by equipping them, build the confidence in what they can achieve across domain, from migration, climate change, humanitarian access, global health. There's a number of domains where there's high-stake negotiation that put pressure on negotiating, create intimidation. And this is what this course is about, giving you the trust and confidence to engage in these circumstances. Offer hands-on learning with practical cases and tools. We truly believe that this course is about learning by doing. And this is a distinct feature, as it's not about discussions on theories and methods. It's really about putting things into practice through live sessions. It's a very specific feature of this online course that all sessions will be live, because they are working sessions where you work with peers as well as seasoned practitioners to develop your own ability to navigate into circumstances. And doing so by having connection with practitioner, really foster a community of practice. A community of practice that you can give and receive peer support that will last beyond the course. You have the opportunity before, during, and after the course to be part of this community of practice and develop your connection with other practitioners. And ultimately is to prepare leaders to tackle these most complex negotiations. Now, how does it work in practice? Well, we say learn by doing. It's really about immersive, practice-oriented, skill-based training. And I'm going to give an example here how it actually works. We are currently on the Miro board, where practitioner will be invited to join in every session where we're going to have exercise taking place. In that case, is drawing an island of agreement, how to establish the basis of a dialogue with practitioners, with counterparts in difficult circumstances. And this gives us first, the theory and tools based on how we draw an island of agreement. What are the purpose of such a tool? To establish the basis of a positive dialogue and to facilitate the leverage of the abilities of the negotiators, about sorting facts and norms, about understanding how these are being managed in such a crisis. And then as we go along, we are getting into exercise, okay, where there is a demonstration about how these tools are being used and giving in real cases, in that case of Poland-Belarus border crisis, where participants are brought in using video of actual cases. These are real-world cases on which you will develop your ability, understanding what has been these cases, and then developing the application of that particular tool to that particular case. So this gives you a sense of how these hands-on practical environments in which the course takes place is being used through these whiteboards, collective whiteboards, where you'll be working, engaging with your colleagues in the course in working groups, as well as accompanied by seasoned practitioners that may have even worked in this particular case with you. We believe into what we call learn by sharing, okay? That is the interaction with others, being your peers in the group or seasoned practitioners, as fundamental pillar of learning in this course. Learn by doing, absolutely, where we really craft our skills, but learn by sharing, where we can hear and learn more about the emotional aspect of this course, about the real life experience of negotiatings on the front line, and your own experience in the type of activities and difficulties you've faced so far. We also look at learn by exploring. There are new tools in new methods being developed at Harvard University and other locations every day on how to navigate these difficult negotiations. In particular, we're working with the Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Science and developing AI negotiation tools. That is, how can we bring AI as a supportive technology in analyzing complex environments under pressure, coaching some aspect of this planning, simulating negotiation, and in the course we're going to have AI-driven simulation where you'll be engaging with counterparts with assistance of AI and really harnessing the skills that you can get in testing these skills on AI models. And ultimately, and we said that, learn by networking. That is connecting with practitioners, seasoned practitioners will join us in this course from frontline associates that are coming from global health, security, and peace environment, migration, climate change. These are practitioners who will join us in this course to share their experience, but also work with you on some of these cases. Now, what is the structure of this program? Okay, it is understood that the course is very important to learn the tools and methods, but it inserts itself into a program of connecting you to practitioners, to harnessing your skills, giving you opportunity to test these skills, and beyond, continuing to develop your connections with this practitioner as you are mastering your craft of frontline negotiators. It starts with, in November already, you can join a free, open community of practice on frontline negotiation, where you'll have already some videos, some activities where you can learn, already meet some peers, practitioners that are on this community, and connect with the domain, being from climate, migration, humanitarian access, and other dimensions. And this is a free and open access. You need to apply, and I will give you the link at the end of this presentation, but you can already immerse yourself in the practice of frontline negotiation. For those who wish to develop this further, there is the possibility to join a more sophisticated part of activities where there are simulation, monthly simulation. This is called the AI Negotiation Challenge. There's a monthly simulation where you can already acquire some skill and tools to build your ability to negotiate using AI. And that prepares us for the HHI Advanced Executive course. It's important to understand that the HHI is an advanced executive course. It's for those who really want to develop their skill further, connect with senior practitioners, and harness their experience and abilities for this advanced set of skills that are available starting March 2025. And doing so, you're becoming part of a global network of HHI trained frontline negotiators. Okay, so Who is this program designed for? From the inception, joining this community of practice to becoming part of the HHI network of frontline negotiators? Well, humanitarian professionals, for sure, to start with, those working in areas of disaster response, a crisis situation, conflict. This is the perfect course to push further your experience and abilities engaging in frontline negotiation. You may have already followed the CCHN peer workshop. This is the more advanced level where you'll be further developing your ability to analyze a complex environment, understand the interests and motives of the parties, understand also and analyze the stakeholders and how to leverage influence, design scenarios, manage risk, and ultimately ensure the implementation of your agreement, your compromise. We have crisis negotiators being from community policing, from disaster response, any form of social issue that fall in crisis linked to the environment, to migration. This is a course for you to be able to lead negotiation under pressure, managing stress, and linking up with this strategy and methodology presented in the course. Leaders in migration and climate response, it is a special focus, particularly of the first edition in March, looking into migration, and we will have practitioners and professionals coming into the course, presenting in the form of panel what have been the challenge and dilemmas of negotiating on migration issues. We'll work on climate negotiation, particularly in the COP process, as we'll have in Baku and preparing for Brazil next year. Great asset for those who work on environmental as well as climate issue, or generally speaking, humanitarian affairs. Senior executive and decision makers who work under tremendous pressure. This is a course to help build their capacity in managing a complicated negotiation environment, and ultimately all advanced practitioners from all sectors that could benefit from a clearly mapped out process of engaging in difficult negotiation and harnessing their skills in that domain. Let's look into what you learn precisely in this course. Okay, this is an important point. We said advanced negotiation planning. This course offers a systematic process to plan a complex negotiation, starting from the relational aspect, building a relationship with a counterpart, leveraging influence in this environment, and then developing scenarios where you can explore options for compromise and manage risk. There is stakeholder mapping and management, important aspect of the negotiation, mapping out stakeholders according to varying features and be able to process these features and see how we can leverage influence depending on your agenda. Crisis management and decision-making, important aspect of the course where at the tactical level, you can see how to manage crisis that may happen during a negotiation and how to tailor your response in these circumstances. Important aspect, as we mentioned, AI-enhanced negotiation tools. Now, AI is not there to overtake the negotiation process. It's really there in support, in finding the right niche where AI can be of use, and you will be tailoring AI tools, customized GPT, to support your own effort and your own capacity in managing a negotiation process. Important aspect, as we said, real world application. We're using real cases based on research that serves to implement the strategy. We'll have, for example, the Black Sea grain export deal that took place between Russia and Ukraine. We'll have other cases are drawn from practice on which the participants can use, and these cases are built on interviews that we had with practitioners. Important point, these practitioners are present in the course. They will join us for panels, for discussions, Participants will have the opportunity to interview them, engage with them, and learn by sharing your experience with them as you process along. And ultimately, personal skill development. Learning by doing will give you the ability to harness the skills of this course, and will give you opportunity to continue the development of these skills. And that's an important aspect about skill development, is that you're connecting with a community of practice where you can continue this development. So as next step, what we'd like to propose here is the opportunity first for you to apply to this open community of practice. This community of practice, and we'll put the link in the chat in a minute, this community is setting up itself for mid-November, preparing for the first course in March. And in this community of practice, you'll have access to short videos on specific tools. You'll have live session with peers. We'll be discussing, for example, how to use AI in negotiation. You'll have opportunities to meet and explore what other challenges and dilemmas of specific domain in negotiation. If you're interested, you can apply. You have to apply to get access to this community, and you have a link through a QR code. We'll also distribute the link in the chat. You can also visit the HHI page that is open, and then you'll have instructions on how to apply. There again, there's a link now to the page, and you'll see on the page there's a link to apply to the course. We invite you to apply from now on, and then you will get a response if you're accepted. And as you saw what type of audience we are looking for, if you think you fit that bill, you can apply, and then you will be able to register early for the March 2025 opportunity. So this is what I had to introduce to you, and I will give the floor back to William and see if there are questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claude. That's great, actually. We do have one question. Keys fifth grade, and how does a senior practitioner with 30 years of teaching, negotiation teaching, and working crisis negotiations, and working in humanitarian and conflict spaces become instructor? I think I would defer that to you and see if you can answer that question.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, you know, instructor for other practitioners is certainly a way to proceed with this community of practice. Okay, in my situation, this is how I learned myself. I learned by doing, I learned by sharing, and then I learned by reflecting on this practice, and doing so, having opportunity to facilitate workshops, as I did in Geneva at the Center of Competence on Humanitarian Negotiation, and building your skill to be able to train others. That's something that this community of practice of Frontline Associate offers that as an opportunity. An important aspect here is, you know, as you become an instructor, you're going the other way around. You know, we usually go from theory to practice. Now you need to go from practice to theory, okay? To be able to reflect on your own practice, the practice of your peers, and see how would you develop this as an ability to teach and to instruct others, particularly in the context of this experiential learning, using cases, building exercise, simulation, and you creating a pathway for other colleagues to develop their skills. It's important here to see that this is not what we're offering here at HHI, is not a course for beginners. Okay, it's a course for people who want really to get to a certain level of expertise, of engagement. So we really invite you to, you know, there are many courses you can take, and many are free, including the one that will be on the open community platform, on which you have the link, and I'm going to give it to you now, that are available. The course we're offering now, the Mastering High-Stake Negotiation, is really for people who want to develop further their skills.
Great, thank you. The next question is, does the facilitation experience require needed to be related to conflict, or can you qualify with 4 years of policy related to facilitation?
Thank you very much. So it's an excellent question. When do you become a negotiator? Is it really linked to conflict? What do we mean by frontline? Well, I'll start with the first question. When do you become negotiator? I think we become negotiator as toddlers, actually. This is the toughest negotiation we had to do in our life, is to fight for a toy. I mean, we've developed negotiation skill as part of our social connection. And as we develop this, what is often lacking is the more adversarial negotiation. When things start to be tense and we are emotionally affected, this is where this frontline nature of negotiation comes in. Adversarial negotiation that may tend to disable us, put us under pressure. That's what this course is all about, is to build your resilience in negotiation. And that is applicable to policy issues. Of course, it may be linked to domestic policies, municipal policies, policies in communities where there's tension. It is really the distinct features of people who know how to negotiate in difficult circumstances, in that they have a sense of confidence. Although they may feel the pressure, they are under control. Why? Because they have experience and they have tools to plan the negotiation, to understand the position of the parties, to take a bit of a distance and be able now to design scenario to find a solution. So this course is really available to all sorts of people who are finding themselves in adversarial relationships.
Great, thank you. The next question is, will this AI tool look to harness the power of AI to support decision-making and the tactics in the field?
Can you start the question? I didn't hear.
Will this AI tool look to harness the power of AI to support decision-making and tactics in the field?
Yes, absolutely. So the AI tools are being developed between a collaboration between HHI, the Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Science, as well as Frontline Associate. It's a research that's going on for 18 months, has developed already a series of tools that are available. They are open source tools. And to have access to these tools, you can join the community of practice, and there will be workshops to demonstrate how to craft your own AI assistant using very basic GPT like ChatGPT 4.0, where you can craft and customize instructions to use these tools in negotiation. So it doesn't require any advanced knowledge of artificial intelligence or machine learning. We're applying basic instructions, but the key here is that we're training you to develop the prompting capacity for negotiators using cases and instruction, and you can really build that capacity as a feature of your future career.
Great, thank you. The next question, negotiation without the authority to make the decision can be difficult. What advice you would have for those with limited authority but are assigned for negotiations?
Well, when you negotiate, actually, you receive a mandate, okay? The mandate circumscribes what authority you have in a negotiation. If you have no authority to negotiate, probably you're more like an agent. You represent your client, your organization, your boss. You're an agent, you're an extension, because you don't have authority to negotiate. You're simply voicing the position at the negotiation table. So a mandate to negotiate means a mandate to find a compromise, okay? And this is already a form of authority, an authority to better understand the position of the counterpart, better authority to understand the reasoning, the values of the counterpart, on comparing this to our own in our organization, what are our main values, what are reasoning, and finding the common shared space, the space in between when we can connect these values and connect these reasoning and hopefully find a solution. So this is a minimum of authority. The authority, ultimately, it's not to take a decision on what the best compromise is. That's something you get with the counterpart. but it's at least to have a mandate from your organization to explore what are the options and build trust and legitimacy with your counterpart.
Great, thank you. We have one participant actually raised his hand. Should I allow him to talk?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Hello, Raja. Raja, we don't hear you. Can you unmute? Very good. We don't hear you again.
It was by accident, sorry.
There you go.
Oh, okay. That's all questions we have so far.
Okay, so what I'd like to do here is to recap. Okay. Working on the front line is really a matter of a craft. There's no courses, there's no there's no courses, there's no books, there's no training will give you that resilience. Okay, your ability to negotiate on the front line is really something that belongs to you. It's a craft that you'll develop over years through experience. That's what we say, learn by doing. Through sharing with peers, that's learned by sharing. And also learn by exploring what new tools, what new possibilities exist through being technology or through tools and methods linked to negotiation, using also culture and society to leverage influence. This is something you'll do over the years of activities. This course is to help you start, situate, and upgrade your game, as we say. By joining a community of practice early, you should not negotiate by yourself in these circumstances. You should share your experience with colleagues, thicken your ability to engage in adversarial circumstances, hear story of others, telling story about their negotiation, about the difficult circumstances, and learning from them. How do you react in these circumstances, being at the domestic level, municipal, and the society, and the community, or squarely into a humanitarian crisis? And ultimately, contributing yourself in sharing your experience and teaching others, facilitating workshops and continuously engaging in these kind of dialogue. This is how you develop these skills and abilities. And HHI is there to help you the whole way, starting with a committee of practice in cooperation with frontline associates, building on your ability to engage in simulations, participating to events like the AI Negotiation Challenge, building your capacity to engage with technology, and then coming to the HHI course, which will start on the 4th of March for a 8 session of 2 hours, where it's really an upgrade. We'll really work on your ability to develop your skills in actual scenarios where practitioners from the scenario will be joining us and exchanging with them and learning with them as you develop your skills. And ultimately, graduating from this course, being a full part of the HHI network of frontline negotiators and having the recognition of being part of this professional group. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch. We will be available to answer your questions, and please apply to the link that is on the chat to join the community of practice, which will start mid-November, preparing for the course in March. Okay. As I said, it's an open community. It's at no cost. You're most welcome, but you need to apply, and then we will follow up with you.
Well, we have another participant raised his hand. Hold on a second.
Yes, Shauna.
Hello, thank you so much. Thank you for holding this session today and for developing this course. It sounds very interesting. I'm a mid-career professional. I've been working in this field for about 24 years and have really been exploring that intersection of AI and how it could potentially influence these high-stakes negotiations, especially in my area, which is mostly related to health diplomacy, both indirect and direct levels of health diplomacy. And so I've applied to the community of practice, but I'm looking for some more detailed information on the pedagogical structure of this. So I'm really keen to do that sort of immersive case study based approach. Are you using a theory based approach to teach it, or is it really something that is more experiential, unilaterally, or does it happen concurrently? And then my second question is, are there plans to develop continuous learning opportunities out of this within the community practice post-course?
Thank you very much. On the first question, how do we use theory and how do we use an experiential approach? I'll answer that our approach is experiential because, as I said, we believe we become negotiator by learning by doing and by engaging. Of course, there are references to theory and concepts, and we bring these references to, feed the reflections, but it is a hands-on practical experience course based on case studies and having also the seasoned practitioners joining for the course. So for your first question, is really a induction course. About the artificial intelligence requires a minimum of understanding about how it operates, how large language model operates. So there is some, let's say, abstract knowledge to frame the practice of crafting your own GPTs and tailoring it to your needs in negotiation. So there's one aspect, and this is brought into the community of practice, where you have these nuggets of information to line up to that you can take best advantage of your practice in crafting your GPT for negotiation. You also have peer facilitators who are practitioners also developing your skills that will help you walk your first step into this practice. And then you'll be joining groups, peer exchange. You'll have the possibility also to join simulation where you can further experience the use of this technology. But as you're heading into the course is really there as to, if I may say, climb the Everest, really to upgrade your game, really to acquire a new level of professional skills. And this is an intensive course that starts in March and will repeat itself 5 times over the next 18 to 24 months. So it's an opportunity to upgrade your skills, and the community continues. This community of practice is ongoing. It's hosted by frontline associate, and there is regular activities online and on site. We call them AI Negotiation Challenge, where you have participants from around the world and across domains who meet and further develop their ability to engage in frontline negotiation using artificial intelligence.
Excellent, thank you. That's a very comprehensive answer. I appreciate it.
I'll put the link into the chat for registering. Here it is. Are there other questions?
That's all the questions we have today. And a lot of thank you for.
Okay. What is the expected cost? I see this question here. Okay, so to join the community of practice and acquire the beginning of these skills and methods, it's at no cost. Okay, you have to apply because it's for certain. We are into the designated target audience. Okay, but it has no cost to join for the first level. The second level, there's some activities will require a subscription of $80 a month, like for monthly simulation, tech cafe, further development of some of the tool, and for research, there's a minimal subscription of $80 a month that is required to join. Then there will be some additional courses available at low cost, simply to help people prepare, and especially if they don't have necessarily all the skills or financial abilities to join at a higher level. There's some minimal courses that will be offered at $200 per course. And then for those who really want to go to the next level and join this group of HHI trained frontline negotiators, the standard price of the course is $2,200, and there will be some discount available for members of the community. But I'll give the further points for this to William.
Yes, the cost question actually is all posted on our website. And further question, if you have any other question, please reaching out to hhi@learning.com, so that way we can actually address for the future questions. And I see, yeah, my colleague just posted a course page. Thank you very much. And great, thank you. If we don't have any questions, Klaus, should we finish this session?
Thank you very much. Well, the session has been recorded. Again,
Yes.
if there's any further question, do not hesitate to reach out to William and the program. If you want to join the committee of practice, go ahead, you can register with the link, and we'll be in touch soon, hopefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending today's webinar. We really appreciate your time and engagement. A special thank you for Claude for sharing such valuable insights and expertise with us. Well, we hope you found this session informative and inspiring. So have a great day, everyone. We look forward to seeing you at our courses. Thank you. Thank you, Claude.
Thank you. Thank you very much.